Hello everyone, today we will discuss the introductory part of the animal tissue in which we will discuss about the various types of animal tissue and their differentiating features in short. So let's start. Animal tissues. We are discussing all this topic under the tissue chapter, that is the second chapter of biology of 9th class, in which we will discuss the animal tissues. Animal tissues are broadly categorized into 4 types, and they are epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, nervous tissue and connective tissue. So in very short we will discuss the differentiating feature. So let's start. There are 4 types. First is epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, and fourth one is nervous tissues. So these are the 4 types of animal tissues, in which we will first take up the epithelial tissue, that is the outermost layer of cells. Epithelial tissue is the outermost layer of cells found in animals. Don't get confused it with epidermal tissues. Epidermal tissues, as we have discussed earlier, it was the outermost layer of cells found in the plant. Now we are discussing epithelial tissue, and this epithelial tissue is the outermost layer of cells found in animals. Since it is the outermost layer, it is protective. These are protective. Protective means it protects the animal cells or animal body from the outer atmospheric conditions, as well as the different also protects the animal body from the pathogens. Now these are cells of epithelial tissues are flat and forms a continuous sheet. It forms a continuous sheet. Cells are compactly packed. That means no intercellular space. We know the space between two cells are called intercellular space. So there will be no intercellular space as the cells are compactly packed. And now this epithelial tissues forms as a lining of cavities. Cavities, example, inside cavities of mouth. In mouth it forms the lining of mouth, blood vessels and lung alveoli. Now what is the lining? What is the lining? If this is the cell, it has the inner layer, and this inner layer is known as lining, inner layer or lining. So this is all about the epithelial tissue. Now moving to the muscular tissue. The cells or tissues that are found inside the muscles are called muscular tissues. This muscular tissues, cells of muscular tissues are elongated in size, so we can also say that muscle fibers. So muscular tissue, it consists of contractile proteins, and this contractile proteins it consists of contractile proteins that contract and relax and enhances the movement of muscles in our body. Muscular tissue is responsible for the movement of our body. Muscular tissues are responsible for the movement of muscles, in our body. So muscular tissues are responsible for the movement of muscles in our body, and it consists of special proteins known as contractile proteins. This contractile proteins contracts and relax and enhances the movement of muscles in our body. And these muscular tissues are of three types that we will discuss in the upcoming sessions. Now, the connective tissue. Connective tissue, as the name suggests, connective. Connective means that it is the tissue that connects or hold or anchors the different type of tissues or different type of organs together. So these are also known as cementing materials. And these connective tissues are made of cell or fibers and plus matrix. This matrix is also known as ground tissue. So don't confuse this matrix with cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the fluid area inside the cell, while the matrix is the ground tissues that in which different cells are embedded or accommodated. So this connective tissue is the specialized tissue specialized tissues that holds or anchors. This holds or anchors different tissues together, different tissues and different organs together, so known as cementing material known as cementing material. These are made of this connective tissue is made of cell or fibers plus matrix, and this matrix is ground tissue, ground substance. This ground substance can be fluid, or compact, or fluid, compact, fibrous and loose. So depending upon the nature of this matrix, there are four types of connective tissues. That are, if the matrix is fluid type, it would be fluid connective tissue, and their example is blood and lymph. If the matrix is compact or tight, then it would be compact connective tissue, and their example is bone and cartilage. Fibrous connective tissue, when the matrix is in the form of fibers, it is called fibrous connective tissue. Tendon and ligaments are their examples. While when the matrix is loosely arranged, then it is called loose connective tissue, and their examples are adipose tissue as well as areolar tissue. So we will discuss all this topic in the later sessions. Now we have nervous tissue. Nervous tissue is a highly specialized tissues. Uh, all our body cells possess the ability to transmit signals from one cell to other. But nervous tissues are, cells of nervous tissues are highly specialized in transmitting signals from one part to the other. Brain, spinal cord and nerves are all made of nerve cells, that is also known as neurons. So the structure of nerve cells and nervous tissue we will discuss we will discuss in elaborated form in the next session. Now we have a short discussion that this nervous tissue are made of nervous tissue are made of nerve cells or neurons. This is the longest cell found in our body, that is, and its size is almost 1 meter. That is the longest cell in our body. Longest cell in our body. Brain, spinal cord and nerves are made of nerve cells or neurons. So these are the highly specialized tissues that transmit signal from one part to the other part inside the body, that we will discuss in the later section. Now in this we have seen the different types of animal tissue and their differentiating features. So thank you.